So as a feng shui master, I have reached millions of people and sharing how the environment can affect you and improve you because you've been missing out on 1/3 of the flow. So how can you work with that? Well, one of the first things I always share with people is I want you to go outside of your home, outside of your apartment, and think you're the universe, think you're God, and open the door of your personal space and come in and see what is there. How do you feel, right? Because when you feel good and welcoming and happy when you come into your space, then this is how your experience in that home will be. But it's possible you just feel the opposite. You feel coming in and you're like, oh, it's just not great here. I feel like my energy goes down. So what can you do? Well, the entrance is one of the first places where I always suggest people create a high energy flow. Because we come out of the world and we're probably tired from working or overwhelmed by whatever has happened in society that day. And so when we come home, we need to connect in with that energy flow that is Om. The word home and Om are totally related. It must be the place where your divine presence, where your energy flow is the highest or is the most in harmony. So you need to be in that Om state in your home. So when you walk in, make sure there is no clutter, no shoes on the ground, no coats hanging. Make sure when you walk in, there is calm and peaceful energy. So how can you then create that? Well, making sure there's a beautiful bouquet of flowers or a white orchid or some candles or pictures of your family. So when you walk in, you're like, ah, I feel at home. No clutter, clean energy, no images that are disturbing you or chaotic. So everything that feels it's welcoming and warm. So that is what I would always suggest when you come into your home. The second place I would love for you to explore. How do you feel there? So open your living room or your family room. Come in. It's like, how do you feel there? Because everybody knows when they feel somewhere, someplace, and they feel good there, they will stay longer. Yeah. You all know that in your own home, there are places that you try to avoid and you put all the clutter there and you just try to just get into that place and get out. But your living room cannot be one of these places because that's where you will spend 3 to 5 hours a day minimum to relax and to re-energize yourself. So when you come in, what is the major focus point when you come in? So you open the door, what do you see? Is the first thing you see your television, then that will mean that your flow will be towards the television. Or there are images of boats that are stuck, or dead plants, or dead animals. So that just gives an opposite indication of flow. Or you're sitting on the sofa with your back to the door, then you're saying, I'm not open to the flow. So always make sure your sofa is set up in such a way that you see the people coming in. Because then you're allowing the flow of the universe to come to you and to open yourself for that. So if you have images of family members there, make sure they're always updated. Don't put images of your children when they were babies, if they're already grown up, because you're telling yourself and your children, let's stay in the past. Now, flow has to be connect with the current, with the present time. So make sure when you come in, there are some fresh flowers. It can be even fake flowers as long as they look fresh, but not dead plants, not spiky plants. That creates all very edgy and conflictual energy. So make sure you have a candle you can lit. Make sure some beautiful background noise so that there is a warm and loving energy. Also in the living room, make sure there are harmonious colors. I always would suggest in the living room to work with earth colors, beige and browns and oranges. I would avoid reds and blues and too much green on the wallpaper because it is not creating the same effect. So earth tones will always create more harmony and less conflict and less problems for people in the living room. So then I would love for you to walk together into your bedroom and you open the door. What's the energy flow in your bedroom? What's the first thing you see? You will say, well, it's my bed, Marie. Well, by what hangs above your bed? What's on your headboard? Yeah. So it hangs above your headboard because that's the last thing you see when you go into your bed. If there are images of lonely people, then don't be surprised you will feel lonely. When you have images there of water above your headboard, then you will drown every night. If you have images of wild animals, then you'll be attacked. So make sure you understand that everything that's around you subconsciously gives you a reality, gives you an image. And so even if you're asleep, whatever is around you will affect you non-stop as you're sleeping. So make sure you have above your headboard something, could be a positive quote, it could be an image of romance. So something you really want to connect with, something positive. And also make sure that next to you on your nightstands, there's also a wonderful energy. So don't make sure it's full of invoices and books and clutter, because your energy flow is not just your body, it's actually your aura field. And your aura field is like an arm length all around you. So whatever on your nightstand affects you, your brain, your mind at night. You have to understand that we want your home to become an alpha vibration. So most homes are into beta, and beta vibrations are not in harmony enough. Alpha vibration is when you're in harmony, you're concentrated, you're inspired, you're more positive. So the more you declutter, the more you create space around you and less items around you, you actually create alpha state, and especially when you're asleep. Also, when you have mirrors reflecting the bed, like on the side or in front of you, or even above you or on your headboard, it actually will double the energy, will double your stress that you're going to sleep with, it doubles the bodies, it doubles the people in the bed, and if you're alone, that will not create more romance, it creates more loneliness. So make sure your space is as calm as possible. Colors to avoid are definitely reds and blues. It doesn't mean you cannot put some red and blue items, but not like red walls or red covers or blue covers and blue walls. Fire and water is something you want to avoid in a bedroom. So then I would love for you to go and walk with me into your workspace, your office, or the place where you work. And it's possible that is not in your home. So walk in your mind with me to that space. You open the door. How do you feel there? Do you feel energized? Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel abundant there? So what can you do to create more flow in your workspace? The first rule is always make sure you put yourself in a position that you see the door. So never put your desk or your workspace against the wall, because literally your subconscious mind will say, I hit a wall. When you hit a wall, there is no flow of abundance. There's no flow of cash. There's no flow of clients coming to you. So always make sure you sit in such a position that you have support behind you, like I'm having right now behind me. I see the door and have space in front of me. You have to understand, you are the queen, you are the king in your office. If you want to have a flow of abundance, a flow of success, you need to position yourself as a queen or a king. A queen or a king would never sit with their back to the people coming in, because they will then be too vulnerable. They will never sit against the wall because they cannot talk to people. There is no conversation. And perhaps you're saying, but Maria, work online. Still then, It's the same principle. So make sure that in your office there are items connected with your success, with your business. So I've seen companies where I come in and the images are not related with their businesses, their products, and their services. Make sure your logo is in that place. Make sure there is somewhere a success altar where you can put all your products and services and business cards and flyers and books on of success, so that you have that vibration in that space. So if there's too many pictures of family, you're actually saying, well, this is a family place. No, it's a workspace, right? So declutter also. Let go of things that you no longer need. It could be things you need to delete on your computer. It could be paperwork that you do not longer need anymore, old business cards. Really declutter at least 10 to 25%. I know it's a big number, because the more you create space, and that's not just for your workspace alone, it's for the whole house. The more you create space, the more you will create flow. And it's really interesting, as you're decluttering, you always will find perhaps a business card that you've been looking for, or cash that you have put aside, or wonderful things that you have forgotten that you have. But also let go of things, because the more you let go of the past, the more there's a flow of the future coming in, not just in yourself, but in your environment. You need to really focus on that. So as you have now walked through your house, you will start understanding that, I make some notes already, like I could change this. This is something I need to improve in my environment, because your environment is affecting you non-stop, even if you don't think about it. It's like you're so used to put these images and things around you, and it creates a subconscious trance. And so your subconscious mind accepts that as a truth, but as a reality, but perhaps that's not the reality you really want. So your environment is a foundational piece of your flow. And so even if you just start already decluttering and reorganizing your home, you will start feeling such a big difference in your life. Also, very small things, but make sure that when you in the morning wake up, that you really organize your bed. At night, when you're finished with your job, organize your desk. Before you leave in the morning, make sure your dining space is clear. So when you come back, there's a new flow, a new energy that is possible, because you are not connected with the old energy from the night or the day or the morning before. So take time for you to organize your life, to create harmony before you leave your house, so that when you walk in again, this is fresh and clean feeling, and you can start going back in the flow, and you're not basing or you're not building up on the flow of the day before or the night before. Yeah, you will see what a big difference that will make for you. So these are some very specific tips that can totally transform your life. Remember, this is 1/3 of the flow that most people are not connected with.